Draper? Draper?
Right here, April.
Why don't you come back to bed?
It's no good, April. Couldn't sleep. Tried everything. Warm milk, counting sheep, nothing works.
Well, why don't you try counting warm milk and drinking sheep? I thought it was funny. What are you reading?
Stein versus Harrison.
Are you working? At this hour?
Oh. There aren't any pictures here. I know the outcome. Still fascinating reading.
Draper, don't you know the worst thing to do to try to go to sleep is to read something which demands a lot of concentration? Come on back to bed.
I just want to clarify a couple of points here.
Draper, if I work at the station past 6 o'clock, you are ready to give me 40 lashes. Now, what gives you the right to turn our bedroom into an office, especially at this hour?
You're not going to get any arguments from me about working late. From now on, you and I are both going to be spending a lot of time in our respective offices.
What are you talking about?
You know how it is with second-rate attorneys. Always takes us longer to get the job done.
Draper, you're a fine attorney.
Seward, Paxton, and Whiteside didn't think so.
Still upset about that, huh?
Yeah. Well, since I'm not going to be making my fame and fortune in New York, I've got to hustle around here so I can make some more money in Monticello.
Listen, you are doing just fine here in Monticello.
Yeah.
Besides, I don't want my husband turning into a workaholic.
I want you to be proud of me.
Draper, I am proud of you. Do you think it makes a bit of difference to me whether you argue cases in front of the Supreme Court or not?
It makes a difference to some people.
Some people, or is it just your father?
Right now, my father thinks I'm on my way to New York City.
He does? Well, why does he think that? Who told him?
I told him. When the job looked like a sure thing, I wrote him a letter.
Oh, Draper, you really should have waited.
The sky opens up and the voice of reason comes booming through. Fortunately, it's a bit too late. Like, I know how my father feels about Seward, Paxton, and Whiteside. It meant so much for me to be able to tell him I was a part of that firm.
Now you've got to tell him the whole deal fell through.
Yeah, and that's as depressing as losing the damn job.
It means a lot to you to look good in your father's eyes, doesn't it?
A long time ago, my father applied for a job with them. They turned him down. I just thought he'd admire me if I were selected to work for that firm.
I don't know, Draper. I just don't understand why you feel you have to compete with your father. The only goals that you have to live up to are the goals you set for yourself.
No, I know.
Well, baby, all I want for you is that you'll be happy.
April, I am happy. I'm sorry. I mean, I'm carrying on like a kid who got a lump of coal in his Christmas stocking, and I'm taking it all out on you.
No, listen, when things like this happen, I want you to be able to talk to me. I mean, we're partners, you know.
But I'm acting like a big kid.
Oh, I like big kids. Oh, speaking of kids, you like them too, don't you? Even little kids, little boy kids, like Jamie, for instance.
Jamie? What the hell did Jamie get into this conversation?
Well, I'm afraid I forgot to tell you, but, well, Raven called earlier and asked me if we wouldn't mind taking care of Jamie this weekend. Well, I'd love to.
The next time I see Raven, I'm going to make sure she understands that this is our home and not a private daycare center.
Draper, whenever Jamie's been here, you've enjoyed his company.
Jamie is here too much. Raven's taking advantage of us, April, and taking advantage of you in particular.
Why me? I mean, I like being with Jamie.
And she knows that only too well. She knows you don't have the heart to turn Jamie away.
Draper, it isn't as though we have any plans for the weekend.
April, that's not the point. I should have put my foot down the first time that woman dropped that kid off here without any explanation. And ever since, you've done everything to encourage her.
Well, since then, she's always called us beforehand and asked.
Oh, what's the excuse this time, April? I mean, Logan didn't say anything about a trip.
Well, no. Logan is going to be very busy with political rallies and meetings, and Raven said she has a million odds and ends.
Oh, I forgot. You're supposed to buy your fall wardrobe before Labor Day.
Draper, come on. It's not going to inconvenience
Logan
us.
told us not to be so receptive when Raven asked us to babysit. He wants her to spend more time with the kid herself. So what happens now? We get the kid a couple of times during the weekends, and now a couple of days during the weekend.
Come on, Draper, I think you're blowing it all out of proportion.
I think you're just doing yourself a favor, April.
Well, look, it's not as though I can call her up, and I can't tell her no. It's too late.
Oh no, you can't tell. You can't tell her no because you already agreed to accept the baby, didn't you? Now, what happened to all the wonderful decisions we were going to make together? The partnership, April.
Draper, I'm only doing a friend a favor.
You're doing yourself a favor, April.
Well, yeah, maybe I am. Look, Draper, I love this house. But whenever Jamie's been here, it always seems that much more complete.
April, I see how you look at Jamie. You treat him like he's your own kid.
Well, Draper, Jamie's the little boy I'm never going to have, and babysitting for him is about as close as I'll ever get to being a mother.
Aren't you going to say goodnight to me? So what is it? You're going to give me the silent treatment the rest of our marriage, huh? Logan, I'm sorry. I promise I'll never do it again.
Well, I should hope not. All the irresponsible things you've ever
I
done.
wasn't gone that long.
2 or 3 hours? Jamie's 7 months old. He can't take care of himself. I mean, what if he'd gotten sick? I don't even like to think about a fire, but what if he'd gotten...
Nothing happened, and Jamie's all right.
Nothing happened, and Jamie's all right. I got to see my movie, and everything's right with the world.
I was bored in this apartment, and I did try to get a babysitter. Mrs. Harris was busy, Geraldine was in bed, April and Draper weren't home, and I know Jamie, he's a very good baby. I knew he would sleep all night, and I don't feel bad about what I did.
You have a responsibility to that child, which...
Baby, I'm sorry about the terrible thing I did, and I promise I will never be stupid again.
Well, I hope you mean that.
I do. Jamie will never be left alone, really.
Raven, your job as a mother is not to see that he has a sitter when you decide to go out. You're supposed to care for him yourself. I mean, he needs you.
But it's hard for me, don't you understand? My whole life I've always had people take care of me. And now all of a sudden I have to accept responsibility for somebody else's life. I just don't know how to do
Can't help thinking that if you'd spend more time with him, you would find that you were a good mother. You might even find it's a rewarding feeling.
Well, I just feel alone, and I'm just not very much of a homebody.
I'd like to spend more time with you. You know I would.
Yeah, you're so busy. This campaign now, you never get home before midnight, and then you're so exhausted.
Two more months. 2 more months, that's it, and then it's over.
I'm very sorry I neglected Jamie. I'm just very selfish. You see, there's just something in me. I want to do what I want when I want it.
Well, you can't. You gotta grow up.
Yeah, you know what growing up means to me, getting old, so nobody wants me.
Except me and Jamie.
Would I appeal to you when I'm old and wrinkled?
I like old wrinkles.
Will I appeal to you as much as I do now?
I don't think right now it's a very good test. Let's get some sleep, huh?